Hey everybody, welcome over to my channel
That
for
music gets me.
the second half of Truth Tuesday, where if you haven't already, head over to Lisa's channel, like with Lisa, and you can watch the first half of our show over there before we continue here. There's a lot of crazy stuff that I want to talk about. It's weird how we're like so connected because so many things you like mention are like things that I just been thinking about or have been on my mind like the past week. Also, welcome to everyone that's here. There was a boatload of people here, like from way before I started. So
good peeps.
Yeah, it's good to see everybody here in the chat. Okay. Hello. Let's see if I get the circle on your camera.
Sometimes people get like the pinwheel of death when they watch my channel.
Oh. I actually have some notes to talk about.
Really? You prepped?
Yeah, I wrote it down. There's so many things that we're not told or taught. Like what I told you about Cassius Clay.
Yes.
Insane story. I could do just a whole thing on just him. He forced Abraham Lincoln to sign the Emancipation Proclamation. Abraham Lincoln didn't want to do it until after the war. He forced him to sign it. He had so many people try to kill him like a bunch of times. There's like crazy stories about that. The government hired an assassin. Group of assassins went, tried to kill him, shot him. And he would just kill the crap out of people. Had a Bowie knife, and the assassin jumped up. He was giving a speech, shot him point blank, and it hit the knife in his jacket. Pulls the knife out, kills 3 assassins. Or no, stabbed him a bunch of times, and like I think only one died. But you look up the story on it; it's insane. His father was the biggest slave owner in the South. Not but like they were the richest and biggest slave owner in family. He went off to school, became an abolitionist. There was two kinds. There was emancipationists and there was abolitionists. One of them were like, hey, let's vote slavery out and let's do things through the system in 5-10 years and blah blah blah. And the other one's like, no, it ends now. We'll fight you for it. It's got to happen right now. And he was in that camp. So, like for him to come out with being the richest, this kid of the richest slave owning family in the country was like a big deal. That his dad died, left everything to him. He freed every slave and gave them land and gave them money. He was a senator in his state, but he was very brash.
Right, and you're talking about the original Cassius Clay, just to clarify for people in the chat. Not Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, there's so many things. There's so many things that he did that were just insane. So many stories are absolutely insane. He started a newspaper, a abolitionist newspaper. So they were going to, kill him or try and destroy it. So he fortified the entire building with iron. He built it from scratch, I guess. He made like Home Alone, the crap out of it. Had like iron walls, had cannons at the end of each hallway. He was gonna just if anybody tried, any mob came after him. He was going to kill the crap out of him.
He had some time to plan, apparently.
He had money. He had that. He was so he did so much, and then he would give these unbelievable speeches. And something you said, what did he used to say? He would say, like, those of you who believe in God's law and would try to disagree with me, he would put down a copy of the Ten Commandments, and he would say, those of you that try to disagree with me and believe in man's law, he would put down the Declaration of Independence and the Bill of Rights, but he would put their Constitution down, and then he was like, those of you who believe in the laws of the jungle, and he'd take out like two pistols and put them down on the podium. He was a complete badass. He changed the world, but he definitely changed the country. He forced a lot of change and a lot of things, made a lot of things happen that wouldn't happen if politicians were just left in charge. All right, so let's get into things.
This is the part where you blow my mind.
You want me to blow your mind, or do you want to talk about
It's up to you.
Russia? Oh, JFK. Fun fact.
I love a little JFK. Yes.
Talk about JFK. I want to just see. It's weird. I've been thinking about JFK a lot.
It was his birthday on Monday. So,
as a man, before he was president, he was another badass. He was in the war. He was a PT boat captain.
Oh.
And
I don't know what a PT boat is.
They used to call them the Mosquito fleet. America invented the PT boat. They were basically like a speedboat. They had 3 V12 engines on the tiniest boat that you could imagine.
Wow.
And then they put tons and tons of guns on it. They were responsible for sinking more boats than any.
It was called the Mosquito boat?
No, the Mosquito fleet, yeah. Because they were so tiny. And they could no one could shoot them. No one could catch them. And then they put a ridiculous amount of guns on them. And then, we're talking about American ingenuity. So many of these PT boat captains and sailors, they outfitted them with different guns. They modified them on their own. Mm-hmm. And something that JFK did, he stole or acquired a howitzer, right, or some other anti-tank land gun, and they mounted it to his PT boat, and he was just sinking ships with it. It worked so well that the Navy adopted it and started putting them onto the PT boats, but they already had like ridiculous amounts of weaponry. They could like come in, fire like their guns. They could fire. Some of them put mortars on their boats because who was it? I think it was Japan. They would use, what are the really long ships? Not cargo ships. There's these cargo barges, and they were so wide that they didn't go very deep into the water. So all our torpedoes would just go underneath them if we shot at them. So they started putting land mortars on their boats and shooting them that way and sinking the boats that way. But yeah, McHale's Navy, that was a PT boat. You can look up a PT boat and you'll see what they look like if you want to.
Oh, it just makes me happy because I see all these comms for Mosquito stuff. But that makes a lot of sense now.
Really? Mm-hmm. I want to talk about the Mosquito airplane that we built. Also, is another thing I want to talk about this week, which was it's one of the really okay.
Yeah, I see comms for Mosquito stuff all the time. Well, anyway, yeah.
So JFK. So he was a captain of a PT boat. These people, the PT boat like crews were a different breed. Um, they would make this. They would take the fuel from torpedoes and then distill it and then filter it through a loaf of bread and then drink it, get drunk. They called it torpedo juice. Um, they were
Sounds like prison wine or
they were
something like.
it's much different. It's torpedo juice. They don't have torpedoes in prison. They were like this rare breed of like just ultra American badasses. Um, and JFK was like a famous war hero badass. P. captain before he did anything when it came to like politics. I just thought it was really really interesting. And the pictures of him from that era and that time when he was in the war are like just
Oh, I'm sure he's
like
terribly
young
handsome.
Elvis, man. It's like
Yeah.
he's cool as hell.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, McHale's Navy was the water version of Hogan's Heroes. I've been watching a lot of Ernest Borgnine movies too, JDO, which is odd for the week. Do you remember who Ernest Borgnine is, Lisa? We had this conversation like a month or two ago. All right.
I didn't know who that was then.
It's Ernest Borgnine. All right.
Sorry.
So let me blow everyone's mind.
Okay.
Let's go to Google and then type in what is the speed of light? The speed of light.
There is the speed of light.
Okay. All right. Let me. Did you not follow what? Oh, you dogs.
The speed of light.
Speed of light. Now let me run. Okay, now so go over to Google Earth. This is the speed of light.
Okay.
I go to Google Earth
instead. It takes me a second. I have to change a tab, then I have to click another button.
All right. I go back to the other one.
Okay.
Oh my God, there it is. I'm an idiot. Sorry, I'm an idiot.
No, you're not. What do you? I don't know what your goal is yet at this point. I'm just playing along.
All right.
Blow my mind.
Just want to make sure it's whether because you got meters per second, which I believe is what we should have. 299. Okay. So now go to Google Earth.
Okay.
And we're going to put in the speed of light as coordinates.
How do you do that in the search?
Yeah, search. You're going to search this coordinates.
And say speed of light. No. Oh, no. Use the
29
coordinate.
Dot.
Use this.
I got it, yeah. 29.9792458.
Just go like that.
Space.
But you want me to put dots in between?
Just erase that and just write it in. I'll just type it in.
Why?
Because it's very easier.
I think it's easier to do it this way. Dot.
See, you did it. No.
Dot.
No. Just hit X and then type it in. Okay.
Okay. 299 dot.
No, go back one more. Go back again. Dot. 9792458 space 31.13. This is the speed of light. So random thing. Before you hit the button.
Speed of light.
Before you hit the button, think of what the odds of this are.
That's not the speed of light.
What?
That's not the speed of light.
Yeah, that is the speed of light.
No, it's not.
You just looked it up.
I looked it up and that's not what it says. This is the speed of light. 299,792,458 is the speed of light.
Go to Google Earth. You just typed in the coordinates as the speed of light as coordinates. That's how you have to type in coordinates. Okay?
Okay.
So what are the odds of this? Hit enter.
Enter. Okay.
That's the Great
The
Pyramid of
Great
Giza.
Sphinx of Giza.
That's the Great Pyramid of Giza.
Okay.
The speed of light as a coordinate brings you right there to the pyramids. What are the odds of a number that long bringing you to that point on our planet? Pretty insane.
I don't know.
I think that's the most insane thing ever. That everything else is nothing that compares to that. Everything is nothing compared to this. Uh, yep, pretty much.
I think there's way more.
No, everything else is just stupid compared to this. This is it.
Yeah, where did the 3113 come from? You had
That part is the to make the coordinates. I forget where it came from, but it's also 13 swapped out, most unlucky number, and then 31. There's like number stuff for it, but dude, the odds of that are insurmountable. That's impossible to happen. And then we could talk about what you think the pyramids are.
We could just go through and look up like different sayings and then take the coordinates of that, different sayings in gematria, and then look them up on Google Earth.
Yeah. And they're all
see what they were.
Stupid compared to this. All of them are stupid compared to this. All right. We live in a simulation. That's why. So what do you think the pyramids are?
What do I think the pyramids are?
Yeah, what do you think they are?
Oh gosh, there's so many different theories on all that. I don't know what I think. There's lots of different things. Some people say they're like clocks. Some people say they're energy, like generators or whatever.
Yeah.
Some people say that they're, tombs or burial things. Some people say they're more like a calendar or whatever, like a clock. I guess that's like a clock, like a calendar kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think when you look at it critically, you look at the things that they don't tell you. And this stuff is weird. It's the only this is the only you can call it what you want, archaeology, science, any of those things. This is the only, it's like Bitcoin. This is the only thing that they've made their own science for it. You can be an Egyptologist. It's like completely separate than any other science.
Why do they say Egyptologist when there's pyramids all over the world? There's pyramids in Mexico. There's pyramids, like Jim said, pyramids in Antarctica.
There is,
pyramids
but when it comes to all the other stuff, it's all based here in the cradle of humanity, where it all started. If you look at things that they don't talk about, I think the energy thing, like you said, I think that these are either like power sources, batteries, conduits, because of speed of light, the location, all that. But there's wall paintings that literally show, like, there'd be a room, and there's like the people say, hey, this is a tomb, but then there are these weird sections for it, and then there's like things on the wall that show cables going to the different sections, where it obviously looks like a battery pack or power source.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that they're the way things are aligned, the different points on the earth.
It also will line up to astrology charts for different times of the year, which is why I was saying like a calendar or whatever. But depending on where the stars are in the sky during different times of the year.
If you go with this way of thinking, it brings you to a lot of Tesla's stuff.
Mm-hmm.
About how he's talking about the wireless energy and able to, that they tie into each other quite a bit. If you go down that rabbit hole, it's kind of really,
One of
really
my
odd.
favorite rabbit holes.
And how they, kind of silenced, because they silence a lot of scientists when it comes to credible people. I always think of Area 51 when you know these like renowned people that are very very trusted come out and say, "Hey, the government Area 51 is real. I was there," and they're like, "Oh no, this person's crazy now. This person is their opinion's worthless." And they destroy them. And when it comes to Egyptologists or archaeologists or scientists, whenever they come out and show something, they're immediately, shunned, crushed. They're kicked out of the club, and they're silenced. So, as a critical thinking person, that's what I think people need to look at, because in the end, the truth usually comes out, but it takes forever. Um, people with this Netflix thing with Cleopatra, everyone's talking about how we're closer in time to Cleopatra than the pyramids are. The pyramids were made, some people say, 2,500 years before Cleopatra. That's the accepted number. But there's a lot of scientists that say it was more like 5,000 years before Cleopatra. Also, impossible to be built unless you look at Nephilim kind of stuff, um, which then that's a whole nother, part of science that's really shunned um, and people try to silence also. Uh, I looked at the math and it's like one of the bricks would take like 18 people
Yeah,
to move, but a
to
person
move
who's
in.
18 times bigger would, so there's so much like crazy stuff when it
There
comes
was
to this and how it all
there
connects.
was yeah, there was a video out recently. I don't know if it was on History Channel something, and they were talking about like using frequency between two rods to move items. Um, and that's all that Tesla kind of energy moving frequency stuff, that, it, there are schools of thought, or there are people that say that like that civilizations go through these like dumbing down periods, like that they have, like there's pictures around, are they around the turn of the century or before the turn of the century, where we had all electric cities, and the buildings were a lot more beautiful and all this. And then it's like there was this dumbing down period and our history was wiped,
Mhm.
and all of this. So there are those. Is that what's that guy's name that he tries to get that information out? Graham, is it Graham Shepherd or Graham? Gosh, now I can't think of who it is. Maybe somebody in the chat remembers. Anyway, but apparently it's a cyclical thing where they keep trying to, like, it's like no, not Stephen Greer, Graham Hancock. Yes, thank you, Sam Storm. Where society like gets to this point of intelligence, and I don't know if it's a Tower of Babel kind of moment or what it is, but then we get knocked down and dumbed down again, and they erase our history. And that's where like Bitcoin fixes that. One of those Bitcoin fixes this moments, in that if we can put it on the blockchain and store our history, if we can protect that, then we can move forward and actually advance at some point.
Yeah. And if you look at, there's so many things that people try to discredit. It's like free energy, like power coming from the earth, that kind of stuff. But you can, I'm looking at a video right now where
Okay.
you can charge your phone
Yeah, I tweeted that out.
with a potato.
Oh no, I tweeted out a different one then. There was a one that they had, hey, because everybody's talking about, oh, we're gonna have these, like they're already kind of doing the narrative of be careful, the power is gonna go out,
Mhm.
and so the media is already kind of pushing that out. And so there's one David Wolf put out, how to charge your mobile phone when there's no power. He did it with like a little tiny battery and a charger thing. And this wasn't the potato one, but I remember doing those potato things in science class when I was a kid. Yeah. We did a clock.
That's coming from, I mean, how can you look at that as a regular person and then not think on a grand scale of like the earth or the universe or that there's power in everything? You know, I mean, the Matrix, we're batteries. There's just, everything's connected. And you see that the more you look into it. Like I said, the speed of light brings you to the pyramids, which are supposed to, be batteries, which then brings you to a lot of the same science that Tesla talked about. If you look into that, to them as that, it all starts like coming together. Where all these, but then the thing is that each one of these is vehemently discredited by the powers that be, except for the things you can't. Like, you can make a potato battery, so they can't say that's not real,
illegal.
But they could say it's illegal. They could say it's not healthy. They could say it's there's a lot of things that they could say to dissuade people from it, but it still doesn't change the fact that it is. So if you that's why I said, like I said, the truth always comes out. The knowledge is always gonna win. Evil's gonna eat itself. What were we talking? So something was coral was one. I forget what it was. But anyway,
we were talking about JFK and mosquito boats.
Well, JFK and mosquito, and I think we're still headed towards that breaking the nuclear barrier. I think that Russia is very smart now when they're having these drone attacks on the Russian people, blowing up some apartment buildings and stuff. So it's trying to get the Russian people that these drones are being sent by Kiev, which if we wanted to, we could blow the shit out of it. Do you know what the Switchblade is? Switchblade's amazing. And it's horrifying. But Russia developed a drone, goes 200 miles an hour. You look up the video on it, you think it's fake. It's not. You can barely see it. It's a suicide attack drone. It goes 200 miles an hour. You think, I may have put it on my Twitter. You think it's fake, but it is not. Let me see if I did put it on my Twitter.
So they just decommissioned a nuclear, or they were just decommissioning a nuclear sub or ship, U.S. ship, and they were talking about how, they have to be so careful, whatever. But that is like self-contained, continuous energy or power. And that's what I think that's what they're going to end up releasing, is that, you guys, we do have this perpetual energy machine that are these nuclear things. And I think they'll probably mine Bitcoin with it or whatever.
It's another weird thing. I was watching Ice Station Zebra the other night. Here we go. I got it right here.
Did you say Ice Station Zebra?
Ice Station Zebra. Yeah, you know that movie, right?
No.
It's a perfect movie.
I watched John Wick 4 and I was very disappointed.
You were?
Yes, we stayed up till the release. We had pre-ordered it. We stayed up till the release came out at midnight. And then it was just so blood and guts and overkill, gory, and didn't have much of a storyline. I was very disappointed.
It's John Wick, so it'll be loved.
They weren't always that bad. I mean, my husband even loves all that stuff, and he was like, it's a little too much.
Share the video I just sent you in the private chat. Look at this drone.
Private chat.
This is what we have. There's what Russia has. This is insane.
Okay. Are you seeing it?
Yeah. Can you make sound? Just watch it.
Yes.
Watch it. This is a real thing. 200 miles. 1 second. You think that's fake? It's not fake. 200 kilometers an hour. Like 100. So
That's annoying.
we can go faster than that. So the Switchblade, there's two versions of it. One is a tiny little drone that's in like a little canister, like what's in canister form? A Pringles can, about the size of a Pringles can, right? It can go, I think, like 25 miles or 40 miles or something. It can go 115 miles an hour, and it's just a bomb on a drone that you hit. You just fly the drone into
whatever you're trying to blow
right.
up. Okay.
You could use a little like a phone, pad, and you can see it. Little camera on it, goes right into it. You know about javelins, right? They want javelins.
Mm-hmm.
Javelins are a one-time shot, boom. If you miss, you don't get another shot. And Ukraine wants tons and tons of javelins. We've been sending them javelins, but they'll blow up a tank. They cost $250,000 each, $250,000 per shot, for one shot. And they want to give these to like untrained people to shoot at tanks. They're very effective. But now I remember I said there's two versions. So the small version, that's like a Pringles can, the U.S. military wants to give to every soldier. Every grunt is going to have one of these drones, and it will deliver a shot like a 40 millimeter grenade. So it'll blow up a car. It'll blow up a bunch of people. It's powerful. It could blow up a tank. Could hurt a tank. But then there's a secondary one that is, what is it? It's like 19. No, the small ones are 19 inches. The other ones are about twice as big, but they have a much bigger payload. They can go like 130 or 145 miles an hour, or like 300 kilometers an hour, so way faster than that one. And that will obliterate a tank. So they're comparable to a javelin. They can do just as much damage as a javelin. They cost $10,000 versus $250,000.
What?
How's
that possible?
That's for the big one. The little or little Switchblade,
mm-hmm.
$2,000. $2,000.
What in the world?
So that's where. So now with Russia's putting out these videos of like 10 drones hit this apartment building and blah blah. I don't think so. Iran, massive. They've put a bunch of their efforts into drone technology. They've been selling a bunch of drones to Russia. Good drones that are killing people. But I think Russia's trying to like bring the fight to the people to try to get there, because their own people don't want to be in this war. It's like Vietnam or Afghanistan. They just don't. They don't have anyone behind it, and they're also fighting the United States. They know it, so they really don't want to lose. They need that support. They need bodies to throw at it. So I think it's BS. I think because they're saying that Kiev sent all these drones to attack their country, and I don't think that they would. I don't think they're going to do that. That's stupid. But I think it helps to escalate it a little further to where if small tactical nuclear device is used, it would be much more acceptable to the international community. And we have nuclear guns.
Distraction. Daddy-O's right. All wars are bankers' wars. You're right, and it is all about the contracts, and we're watching that right now. Not tomorrow, but Thursday is June 1st. I know they supposedly pushed the date to the 5th, but I wouldn't be surprised if we saw something before then. Which it's just such, all of it is just so frustrating.
We developed a nuclear gun. I don't know if you know that. It's a cannon that shoots a nuclear bomb. A long time ago, and it just shoots a big tactical nuclear. But that's before. Now we can just shoot them with planes and all, but before we actually developed a gun that shot a nuclear blast. I don't know. I don't think stuff's gonna happen. You said something's gonna happen on the 27th. Nothing's happening.
Well, things happened.
It's just the usual. I think that we're
the Epstein's list email came out.
I mean, I'd like to see someone arrested. It's on a list. I'd like to see them say, "Hey, this guy was on this list," and that's if people on the list are going to get arrested, just that, or get talked to, or brought in for questioning, something. If that happens, I'll be like, "All right."
That's later in the movie, but yeah, it's already.
I'd like to see some John Wick happening, in the world when it comes to those people.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm ready to move the movie along as well.
Yeah. Oh, if you want to talk about the Mosquito airplane, which is nuts.
The airplane or the boat?
Well, that's what the enemy called the PT boats. The Germans and Japanese, they called them the Mosquito fleet. We created during Vietnam. This is in my opinion, the biggest example of government corruption and the military-industrial complex and all that. So in Vietnam, we really needed aircraft for close-range aircraft. Like we use the Warthog now, or we started using the Warthog. But before that, we didn't really have anything to deliver the napalm. We just had these, massive fighter jets were designed to do not close quarter stuff. So the military, they came up with this plane called the Mosquito, and it was tiny, and it was loaded for bear. It had tons and tons of guns, but it wasn't a super fast jet to do like aerial. It wasn't a Top Gun, but it was loaded for bear, and it cost $400,000 for this jet to make this plane.
And Mojo, Sean and I did a whole story on that. They have sovereign immunity, so they didn't take an off.
Yeah,
they're protected. What is it called? Mosquito.
Yeah, it's called Mosquito. So anyway, they built this plane, and then but none of the pilots in any of the forces wanted to fly it because it wasn't cool.
The Havilland Mosquito.
I think so.
Let's share this tab instead. Okay.
Let me see.
Is that it? British twin-engined shoulder-winged multi-role? No. Mosquito top range speed variant Britannica Mosquito. Keep talking about British.
But Mosquito plane. No, it's a Dragonfly. It's a Dragonfly.
Oh, you're kidding, Sean.
The 37 Dragonfly. Oh my God, are you serious? Yeah, that is weird, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Put in the A-37 Dragonfly.
A-37 Dragonfly.
Wow. Okay. They nicknamed. That's right. Okay. So I think they nicknamed it the Mosquito because people didn't want to fly it. That is weird, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. That is weird.
Okay. So this
Sean has a thing with dragonflies. Yeah.
This is the thing, and also if you have a missing loved one, that's a big dragonflies are a big thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, so this plane loaded for bear, it performed crazy good, right? But no pilots wanted to pilot it that had all this, super trained because they're all, Top Gun wannabes. And they said that it wasn't cool. It wasn't made for, it was slow. And it wasn't a dogfighter. So the branches of service said, okay, cargo plane guy, okay, refuel guy. They took shit pilots from everywhere else and put them in these planes. And they outperformed every other pilot and plane in the Vietnam War. They were doing shit that was amazing. And the military brass and the military industrial complex were horrified because this $400,000 plane with an untrained pilot, a trained pilot, but not like a military combat jet fighter pilot, were outperforming millions of dollar trained troops with millions of dollar planes for 400 grand. So they pulled it and they gave away all these planes to um, the South American countries, to Australia, to our allies. But that left us with no close quarter combat planes. So we're screwed again. So that's when they developed the Warthog, which cost like $5 or $6 million, and that's what we use today. But they did that because this was too cheap and worked too well.
Insane.
They actually stopped it and gave it away. If that's not the biggest example of the military-industrial complex and government waste, I don't know what else is. So there you go.
Man. What you drinking? I'm having a light Stone Cloud Light.
Made by Anheuser-Busch.
Do what? No, it's Oklahoma beer.
Is it?
Yeah.
Something happened in Oklahoma.
Stone Cloud is Oklahoma.
I want to ask you about it. Some like double murder or triple murder or something.
Mm.
It was like I was watching it on the news.
I'm not aware.
Well, we have been jibber jabber in our jaws for a while.
I know. I've got a meeting tonight.
I have to feed the dogs, which they've been actually pretty calm.
That's good.
Yeah.
They're well behaved.
They're okay. They're okay. So now they're getting homesick, which is kind of cute.
Aw.
Yeah. So I'm fine. I miss you. I'm like, oh, okay.
That's sweet.
It is. Yeah, I called them the other day on Telegram. I called Sebastian because he's on Telegram. They're not. And then I was able to video talk with them. And it's weird. They're in this like modern kitchen, like they were eating, and they have like a big air conditioner, like anyway. But they're like sitting on the floor. It was just odd, at this table.
At the table on the floor.
Yeah, I felt bad for them because they lost their sense of smell and taste. That's like part of the,
Yeah, that's part of the travel experience is eating the food
and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I felt bad, but they said it's coming back. Since the smell is not so much, but their taste is a little bit.
That's terrible. Oh, I want to mention over here because you get some visitors that I don't get. There is going to be a silver symposium coming up. That actually they just let me know that they're going to give me a room and a place to do my Friday happy hour show live from Caesar's Palace at the event as well. Who what?
I said, who are you fighting?
Yes, I'm going to be fighting. No,
live from Caesar's Palace.
I'm not going to be doing any jujitsu for
like
Caesar's Palace.
Going up against Wendy Williams.
Westwood. No, me and Westwood will be duking it out.
Yeah.
So you can find that link for tickets. Right now they're giving away the beginning package, or so the beginning ticket is like $89, and you get a 1 ounce silver round with it. So by September 29th, silver may be $89 an ounce. I don't know. But hopefully lots of people get tickets and meet us out there in Vegas. And we're also doing the meetup before that.
Ninja's speaking at the Silver Symposium, I believe.
Yeah. And I got Bix is going to meet us there. Ninja's going to be there. David, Morgan. Oh gosh, I always forget his name.
Tom Hanks.
A lot of people are going to be there. Anyway, G. Edward Griffin, the guy from Creature from Jekyll Island, is going to be there.
It sounds like it's a show. What about Ron Paul? He usually shows up at those.
I haven't heard if he's going to be there. Also, Tom says Robert Kiyosaki. I haven't heard that. I know that who's the guy? Greg Manorino is going to be there too.
He's been saying for a while that everything that's like, this is it.
Yeah.
I'm not really talking about it anymore. It's here,
I have to agree with him, and he's a smart man. And not that I know anything, but a lot of smart people are saying that. Yeah. Westwood with Crypto Crow on his shoulders. I think maybe the other way around. Yeah. Maybe Westwood. Yeah. Maybe Westwood on Crypto Crow's shoulders. Yeah, I don't know.
Crow's like 7 foot tall or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, right.
Anyway, so a meetup in Illinois, Peoria, Illinois on June 23rd. You find out more information at litecoinlisa.net and or look in the description of my video on my channel on YouTube. So
check us out on Dragon Chain on Thursday for Blockchain Roundtable. We're pithy and funny. I almost peed my pants
when I said that on the show.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I had to.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna try to make a shirt. I shouldn't have said that. I should have just showed up with it on. Yeah. Don't tell anybody. I'll just show up with it on.
You would get one like a Superman shirt with just a big P when everybody asks you, "Oh, I'm busy."
No, I have an idea.
Let them walk into it. Yeah. What's the P stand for? All right. You guys have a great week. We'll see you back here next week. I could probably have a video or two coming out this week. Check us out on Thursday.
Do you have a meme review this weekend?
Everyone's pushing me to do one, and I should do one. I'll do one. Just hate fucking broke. I don't want to give away a bunch of money, but I'll give away some.
Oh, well, don't give away any money.
That's what people want. Everyone, please do a meme review. I want to win some money.
Oh, I didn't realize the two went together.
They do. They do, definitely. Leave a comment when this goes live. So you're registered to one. I'll do one this weekend.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Love y'all. And I gotta figure something. What are we gonna go out with? Hey, we'll do this one.
Keep it pithy.
Keep it pithy. Love y'all. Hey man, I'm telling you, man, you gotta get yourself some of that Bitcoin, man. You go on the internet, you click, you got to steal some Bitcoin and put in your wallet and you holler at the caller, you holler at it.